Hi guys, welcome to Monday, July 24th, in what would normally have been the second week of live training, but due to the big loss I sustained last Thursday, I've decided to go back to sim, paper trading for a little bit. If you've watched the video, then you know the reasons why. If you don't, go back and watch it. Now, today was a day I would consider a kind of finding my feet again, just slowly getting into it, more enjoying it than taking it seriously, because I found that after last Thursday, I either need to take a mental break for a little bit, or I need to just take things a little bit more lightly rather than taking them so deadpan seriously, at least for a little bit. So that's why today wasn't a day I put myself under any pressure. I didn't come with any expectations. I didn't set myself any specific goals. I just wanted to kind of, dip my feet in the water, so to speak, splash around a little bit, take a couple of dives off the board, and not really worry about the consequences, and just enjoy it. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So don't look at today's profit and loss as a measure of performance, because I was up $79, which is what I would say was my my end of day performance. So $79 is what I ended up with, and if I was trading live, that would have been my final figure. But then I went and experimented. I took big positions in certain stocks just to see how I would react. Tried to gauge them off different pivot points, which is something I'm working on now as a different strategy as well. Not different, but just as a kind of addition to what I'm doing. So pivot points, looking at where things bounce, those kind of things. Now, from tomorrow onwards, or even Wednesday, because tomorrow I might take a similar approach to today. From tomorrow, more likely Wednesday, I'm going to try and do what I did at the beginning of the sim, which was 27 days ago, which is 27 market days ago, right? Which is to take as least amount of trades as possible to reach my daily goal. Now, today I traded 91 executions, so that's not realistic. I'm not going to be doing that. But I've got to say, when I went live, because I had so little buffer of money, I did take more trades than I would have. So, where I say I'm happy with about 25, 30 executions, I was, looking anywhere from like 58 to 70, which is way, way, way too much. It's not something I'm going to see myself doing. At least I don't feel comfortable doing it. So today, 91, triple what I normally would do. So, don't take today as a kind of day where, judge me on my performance. But as I said, it's just a day of fun, pleasure, just fooling around, really. So I haven't drawn up all of the charts. I'll tell you why. I think drawing up the charts, I think, is a very good exercise because it compels me to think back on what I did. But the problem is, I wouldn't normally be trading this many stocks. I can't see myself doing it. I mean, my strategy and my comfort zone revolves around trading, I don't know, 7 times a day, about 7 times a day. So that means I would have probably traded at the most 7 stocks, at the most. But even then, it's probably 3 or 4 stocks, 5 at the most. Here we've got close to about 10 stocks. So what I'll do is I'll just go through the kind of the biggest ones that had an impact. AAOI. I went short on this stock, probably just after 10 o'clock, I think it was 10:45. Just above the VWAP here, as I just kind of felt that it was really extended at this point in the day, and it had already gone up a heap. So probably a little bit earlier than normal entry, but I covered just as it broke down below VWAP because actually I don't know why I did that, because that doesn't make sense. I should have held on to it a little bit more. But as you can see, this 5-minute candle here, actually let's get my pencil out. This is the one that allowed me to make up the bulk of my profit. It had a pretty big drop from about 95.25 to about 93.50, so almost $2 in that fall, and it fell pretty quickly. If they're the types of trades I can find, then fine, I can do 1 or 2 a day, and that's perfectly fine. Let me just remove that off the screen. So that was AAOI. The other one I'll just go through quickly is FL. Now, FL was setting up for a short. I thought it was setting up for a short. because it was kind of basing around about this price point, and you know, all it needed was just a simple little push to the downside. Now, I took a slightly big position here, and I added here. I'm sorry, that's not what I did. I started shorting here as it got just below the VWAP. I added a tiny bit there and just a little bit more there. Now, like I said, today is all about play and just enjoying myself. But when I take it seriously again from Wednesday or tomorrow, you know, averaging down is what cost me. You know, it's what really gave me that big loss. So I won't be averaging down again. Now, averaging up, I don't know. I have to think about it. It is the same principle, but I tend to have more luck shorting, and I tend to do better shorting. So I'm not sure how we'll go. But anyway, this wasn't a bad trade at all. This worked out well. It didn't go a lot below VWAP, but still, you know, this kind of gave me enough. I think it was 20, 30 cents. So that wasn't too bad. And also, let's just go quickly through one of the bigger losers, which was HAL. Hall. So this one was what? This one was, this was short. This was short. Okay. So Hall, I majorly overtraded. I mean, you can see how much I traded, how many executions I had. Now, I went short here and added, which is fine. I mean, you can add to a winning position, that's fine. And I covered here, 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 and so it's four places. So this was a winning trade. This was a good trade. The second one, I went to short again down here. Now, mind you, this was really already overextended. So this was more than anything just to see whether it would break the $half mark here. Because if it breaks 42.50, then it can go to 42. All right, the next round number. But alas, that didn't happen, and I covered for a loss here. Then I tried shorting it again here, thinking that, you know, it might go back down again, but it went all the way up to VWAP, which it tends to do. And I'm beginning to see these patterns emerge. You know, if it can't crack much lower, the next thing it does is it goes back to VWAP most of the time. And then it just kind of juggled around here and didn't do too much at all. And then what else was so that was Hall short. Okay, Hall long worked out. What else did we have? Now SRPT is the trade that cost me last week when I averaged down a hell of a lot. On this occasion, you know, so everything that's got a really small kind of dollar amount, really small, anything that's a smaller dollar amount is what I traded the serious way. So, you know, $6 loss, $20 loss, $18 loss, $48 gain, and so forth. This one, FL, was then playing around, as was this 197, as was this 240, as obviously was this AAOA. But these were the little gains, I think. But you know, SRPT wasn't too bad actually. This one worked out not too bad today. I went to short it here. Gee, that's a really fat marker, isn't it? Pen. And I covered it down here. I apologize for the thickness of this line. And that was a good trade that worked out. Then the second one, I went long. 1, 2, 3 added. Mind you, I'm repeating the mistake from last Thursday here, but very consciously knowing what I'm doing, because I need to go through the motions of what not to do to obviously to unlearn things as well. Just because I did it once last week and it cost me a shitload of money doesn't mean I won't do it again. So having the ability to go through the motions and be aware of what you're doing is also quite key. And I ended up for, I think, I'm not sure what this may have been a small gain at the end of the day, or maybe a small loss. But overall, guys, today just a short video. Just wanted to kind of share with you that today and probably tomorrow I'm just going to be kind of just taking it easy, barring taking a holiday from it all and going to the Bahamas to clear my head. There's not much else I can do to kind of stay away apart from just doing what I did today. Today I may not even trade. I mean, we'll just see how we go. But I know that I need a little bit of breathing space from what happened last Thursday in order to kind of regain my mojo, my confidence, and the kind of energy to kind of go back and do what I was doing well and very well before last week. before last Thursday. So that's it for today, guys. It's only 12:40, so hopefully your day is still going well. And I may introduce some other videos about pivots and how I use the pivots going forward. But for the moment, signing off for today. Cheers.